Hello. I literally am about to go live with art, and I tried to use my Apple Pen, and it's fucking dead. So, hi. While I introduce the stream, I'm gonna try to get some juice in this pen so I can actually draw like I planned. How's everybody doing tonight? I think the Apple Pen being dead kind of summed up my day pretty well. How am I doing audio-wise? Let me know in chat if I'm too quiet, music's too loud, if I'm too loud, you can't hear the music at all. Let me know. I'm curious. I want to hear. But hi, as I said, and as you can see by the title, I'm going to be doing some art tonight. Specifically, Demon Slayer fan art, as you can see by this lovely sketch I have currently pulled up on stream. Listen, I want y'all to appreciate the sacrifice I have made for this stream. I did this sketch in class today, probably at about 11 a.m. And I have so desperately wanted to work on this drawing all day because I'm so proud of how it's going. And I have just been desperate to work on it. And I have put it off because I decided I was going to stream tonight and do this art instead. And so I wanted to stream this particular piece because I'm very proud of it. So, yeah, gonna be doing some fan art of Tanjiro from Demon Slayer. Let's see if my pen has enough juice for me to start. Ta-ta-ta. Why are we not going, Apple Pen? This is sick. Why are we not working? Ah, it works? Does it? Why? Un momento. Allow me just a moment to do something real quick. Of course I'm having technical difficulties. I'm such a professional streamer, obviously. I'm such a professional. Okay, cool. For whatever reason, my Apple Pen is working to tap the screen, but not to draw in Procreate for some reason. Aha! I see. I'm a fool. That's the problem. Let's try this again. Okie dokie. So what was happening was I had my brush's opacity turned down to here, and in order to see this very light red, you have to have it turned up. So my Apple Pen wasn't dead. I'm just an idiot. What else is new, though, honestly? But, alright. It looks like I should be ready to go. Let me just finish setting up a couple more things. So professional. Alright, perfect. 'Tis time. I'm going to start inking this. I worked on the sketch earlier today, super proud of how it turned out, and so I'm very excited to work on inking this bad boy. What inking color do we want to use? Tanjiro kind of has a red tint to his hair and clothing with a green coat, which makes sense. It's complementary. We're going to go with a nice dark red line art on this guy. Alright, and then are we going to do we want to do our usual safe bet, or do we want to go a little funky with it? Because I could use my usual studio pen, which is like a nice clean line, or I could do some texture today with my dry ink. I'm going with that. I think I'm going to stick, I think a dry ink might be kind of fun to try. Let's give that a shot. And without further ado, put my pen to the page and let's get started. I'm going to ink this bad boy. Yeah, I've had a pretty uneventful day, if I'm being honest. It's not been a whole lot. It's just been kind of a lot of me going to class as usual. What else is new? Now that school's in session, it's going to be a majority of my days. But it hasn't been too bad so far. So far, it seems to be a pretty relaxed semester, which I'm very thankful for, because not gonna lie, knowing that I'm gonna be taking 18 credits this semester, I was kind of shitting myself. Have your classes actually started doing stuff yet? Hello, interdimensional pork ribs. Yes. One fun thing about being a senior in college is you get like 1 day for syllabus prep, and then the rest of it, they just kind of throw you right into the fire and start giving you assignments right away. So I very rarely these days have like substantial amounts of time during the week where I don't have homework, even during the first couple weeks of the semester. And part of that is fueled by the fact that I'm doing online classes, and so the online classes have stuff that they assign. Whoa. Okay. I need my reference picture. Hello, Tanjiro. Let's see that hair on the side of your head. Need to make these strands a little bigger, I think. But, yeah, so I have been kind of getting right into things right off the bat. I had a statistics lab today at 7:45 a.m. That should be a crime, by the way. It's a crime to have a lab for stats that early in the day. But I went, I survived, I went and I did. It was kind of rough, not gonna lie. But like I said, I lived, so it's fine. But, so that was an interesting start to my day. I started with a 7:45 a.m. statistics lab. And I got out of lab and was like, okay, well, now I got out really early. It was supposed to be like a 2.5-hour statistics lab, but it didn't take me nearly that long to get the work done, so I got out super early. And I was like, well, I have 3 hours until my next class. What do? I got a coffee and I got a bagel, and I sat in a cafe and played Stardew Valley for a while. And then I left the cafe and went to my school's library to sit in a more comfortable chair. And I did a little bit of sketching for fun. And then I went to my organic chemistry class afterwards, which is where I started this beauty while I waited for class to start. And then I finished my worksheet in that class pretty fast, so I did some more work on this piece. And I finished my sketch, and then I had to go to my other bio class. And then after that, I came home and fell the fuck asleep because I'm exhausted. And then I was gonna not stream, but I got up, made dinner, and had some caffeine and was like, no, you know what? Fuck it, we're streaming tonight. So here I am. It's also partially fueled by the fact that I've been waiting to do this Demon Slayer art literally all day. And so, let's see. Tanjiro's earrings kind of give him a little bit of that. And they kind of have that hang down thing. Okay, got that. Like this, it looks like. Yeah. But how's everybody in chat doing? I've been doing a lot of talking. Let's hear from some folks that are watching tonight. I'm curious. Has anybody else in chat? Is anybody else here in university and or has started their classes for school? Because, trust me, I know a couple people haven't started. Like, a couple schools haven't started. Or at least this is the first day for some schools. I started today, just syllabus stuff. Yeah, that's pretty expected, I think. That was kind of my stuff earlier in the week as well. The problem is I've just now gotten to the point where, like, I've been to all of my classes at least once, so we've covered all of the syllabus stuff. So now it's on to, like, the actual classwork, unfortunately. I wish that syllabus period could last longer because, it's kind of nice to just go to class and have your professor talk about the syllabus and you leave without having to take notes. It's great. Speaking of notes, I actually almost got a job this semester where I would have had to submit my notes to, like a specific, like basically the school I go to has a specific like note-taking job that you can do where you get paid for taking notes in one of your classes and then you submit that to their like database and they use it for students that like can't take notes. And I almost did that as a job this semester. But I was going to apply for it, and then I ended up not doing it because of a couple reasons. First of all, the job paid a whopping $7 an hour. Lit. And, like, I get that money is money during a semester of college, but, like, I work another job where I make $9 an hour, which is not much, but it's better than $7. And I was like, well, I'd rather get hours in at my job where I make $9 an hour than get hours in at a job and then like spend hours. I'm only allowed to work 20 hours as a full-time student. I'd rather spend my 20 hours at a place where I'm getting paid $2 extra per hour. So I ended up not doing, and the other reason was because, little fun factoid about me, my handwriting fucking sucks. And I would have to put in way more hours than just what we did in class, because if I like hand wrote my notes, I would have to rewrite all of them so that they were legible. And if I typed my notes, I would have to go back in and correct all my typings because when I type, I write in my own personal form of shorthand, which is completely indecipherable to somebody who is not me. So it would have been a lot more work than it was worth, so I ended up not doing it. But I do take a lot of notes in class and stuff still, because with my major, you really can't afford not to take notes in a class. You'll just suffer. So, the only reason I started this I guess, here's the thing. Y'all have heard me say I draw in class a lot, and I do, which is not good. I should not do that. But today, I call it an exception because, I drew this when I was already done with my worksheet, so it doesn't count. But yeah, I'm really bad about doing that. I draw in class a lot. Cause part of it is that like I use my iPad for my note taking, and I also use it for my digital art. So it's like, well, while I have my iPad here, I guess I could do some drawing, which is not good. I shouldn't be doing that. I should be taking notes, like the good, responsible adult that I am. Okay, I need to move this reference picture down more so I can actually see it while I work. Shoop. Put it right here, I think. Don't tilt. Thank you. But yeah, I finished my homework assignment in my chem class and was like, well, now what? And I was sitting there and I was like, you know what? I'll just pull up. I saw somebody wearing a Demon Slayer t-shirt and was just like, fuck it. I'll draw some Demon Slayer. So I pulled up a picture of Tanjiro, not Tanjiro. I'm American, but not that American. And, just started going. And this is the result. I think I sketched this out in let's see, how long did this sketch take me? There should be a way, actually, for me to look at that. Canvas. Information. Date created. Date modified. Statistics. Tracked time, 51 minutes. So I sketched this out over the course of an hour or so, which is actually longer than I usually spend on sketches. I don't usually spend a ton of time because you're not really supposed to. Sketches are not supposed to be perfect. They're supposed to be sketches. So usually you don't put a ton of time into them. The only thing is I wish this did not have a black background because it's really hard to see if he has the little wispy hairs that come out down here. I think I'm going to add them anyway just because it's my art and I can do what I want. So if I want to add extra hairs, I can. Okay. I was working on his shoulder. So his arm kind of comes down here. Okay, nice. Let me do a little bit of this for the nice boxy lines on his little coat, which probably has a more specific Japanese name, but I don't know it because what can I say? I'm just not cultured enough. I'm going to turn this down a little bit so I can actually see where my lines are going. But, yeah, that's basically been my whole day. It has not been super eventful. I went to the gym. That was pretty cool. I hated it. I did not want to go, but I've been trying to be healthy, so I went anyway. But, yeah, I'm mostly just trying to get through the week at this point. I've got early days every day except for Monday. So yesterday I started at 8 a.m. Today was 7:45. Tomorrow is 8 again, and Friday is 7:30. It's pretty rough. I don't like it, but I will be fine. I will get over it. All right, how does your arm fold, my guy? Okay, so the line kind of pulls across from here. Or does it pull across from here? I think it pulls across from here. And then this one comes up like that, comes around and then down. Just gonna do a little bit of play-by-play of my art real quick so I can actually remember how clothing folds work. That looks decent for now. If I need to change it later, I will. But yeah, my school doesn't even have classes earlier than 8:30. God, that must be nice. Yeah, 7:45 is the earliest class you can have at my university. The earliest class you can have is 7:45, and the latest class I think they have evening classes. The latest class I've ever taken went till 8:30, and that was because it was a film class. It was a class called Survey of Film History, and Basically, the only reason it went that late was because we would have lecture on Mondays, and then on Wednesdays we would watch a movie, and we would have class until like 8 p.m. because we were watching movies. So it wasn't so bad. I do hate having late classes though, because I know it seems counterintuitive because I always like stream super late that I would hate to have late classes. But in the winter, the days are so short that by the time you get done with class in the winter, it's usually dark out if you have a class that's later than 4 o'clock. And I fucking hate being done with class when it's dark out. I like having light be outside when I'm walking home, so I don't feel like I'm getting home at the butt crack of like evening. And so I really hate it when I have super late classes during the winter. It wasn't last semester, but it was last spring. I had a lab that went until 6:15 p.m. And when we got like into the winter area, like we stopped the class before Thanksgiving break or after Thanksgiving break at our school because it was an outdoor, partially outdoor class, and you can't do outdoor classes when it gets super cold. But, so like even though we just like stopped at that time, it was still a late class to do in the winters. And, it ended up being dark a lot of the time when I got back to my apartment, and I hated that shit. It drove me absolutely crazy, because it just felt like the whole day had been wasted. Which I know it hadn't, but it felt that way, you know? But like I said, we'll get over it. I'm an adult. I will handle it. I will be fine. Thankfully, my summer job kind of prepared me for these early mornings, because the job internship I worked this summer, I call it a job because it was paid, but the internship I worked this summer thankfully prepared me a little bit, because I had to be there at 7:30 a.m. at my internship, so having to be on campus by 8 isn't quite so bad, just because I'm used to being at work at 7:30. The only difference is I'm actually like trying to look decent when I go to class, whereas when I was working at the internship, I worked at a garden center, so there was literally no point in trying to look nice because you looked trash by the end of the day. But we may have to revisit this hand later, but we're going to leave it for now. We're going to just get something on the page. I really hope this isn't one of those cases where like I adore my sketch and then I do the line art and then I hate it. Because that does happen pretty often with me. Where I will, like, sketch something and it looks amazing and I'm so happy with it. And then I go and do the line art and I'm like, ugh, I ruined this. It's happened more than once, unfortunately. This coat needs to come further over on him. Yes, thank you. The worst times when that happens is when you're doing traditional art. When you're doing traditional art and you, like, have a great sketch and you fuck up the line art, it is literally just the most gut-wrenching, heart-wrenching feeling you can have as an artist, because it's like, wow, I really just took something so great and completely fucked it up. One moment, I need to pull up another reference image of Tanjiro Kamado. I need to see where your little pocket is on your uniform, my guy. Ends about... Oh, okay, so your neck thing also ends here. Okay. I have to look up, like, I know I have a reference sitting literally right next to me, but the black background makes it kind of hard to see certain things, so I'm just going to keep consulting my references while I work here. Like that. He looks good. It's also, like, a slightly different angle than what is in the reference image I'm using, so I need to, like, adjust. Like that. He only has 3 buttons on his shirt, so one goes there, and the other is under his arm. Actually, this button should probably be a little further up. Okay, there we go. Nice. Bop into some Stardew tunes. I almost listened to a different soundtrack today while I streamed, because I always listen to the Stardew soundtrack. But, I decided to go with this instead. Like, just to go with my usual, because it is so tricky to try and figure out what is going to be copyrighted and what isn't when it comes to making YouTube videos. It gets really frustrating. So I'm kind of to the point where I'm like, yeah, I just need to stick with what I know is going to go without getting me copyrighted. Because, like, even though I don't make money off of my videos, the copyright claims aren't a problem now. Like, if I ever do decide that I want to monetize my channel, I don't want to have to worry about, like, that kind of stuff and my old videos getting taken down. I need to adjust this arm, because upon looking at this other reference image, I think it's not supposed to look like this. It looks like it's supposed to kind of hang. So if this fold comes down, it should come down a little further. I found a version of this image that's on a white background, so I'm going to use that as reference a little bit. Got that. And it looks like the fabric kind of swoops out here, maybe? It's kind of hard to tell with this picture. I kind of hate that. I know that with the way I did it was not perfectly right, but I might just stick with it anyway because I liked the way it looked. Or at least I did. Have I screwed it up? God dang it. Do not want to screw it up. Clothing is so hard. Why are clothes dumb? It will be okay. Get over it. Keep working. I'll be fine. It's like my new mantra lately. I'll be fine. I've been saying it a lot. I use it to cope. I'm coping. Okay. Okay, so torso comes down to like there. Comes here. Because on this side the coat's open a little bit more. Like that, it looks like. To reveal like the underside of the coat. But yeah, I don't want to mess with copyright stuff. I had to actually, literally right before I started stream, I had to submit another copyright appeal. So that's cool. That's a cool, fun thing I have to do in 2022. Yeah, because apparently there's been issues, like, I think I've mentioned this on stream before, but there's issues where Undertale music, which normally would not get you copyright strikes because Toby Fox said that he wants YouTubers to be able to use Undertale music. There has been issues recently with that stuff getting copyrighted anyway because the auto-claim system on YouTube. And, it has happened twice now to my channel. The first time it was appealed, so I'm confident this one will get appealed as well. But it's still just pretty annoying that I have to like type up a whole nother claim to defend content again when I think it's kind of bullshit that I can't use any music I want as background music anyway. Because, hot take, and I think I've shared this hot take opinion before, but it's kind of stupid that you can't use music as background music on streams and YouTube without getting copyright striked. Because I understand that they have to protect their copyright when it comes to certain things. Like, obviously, they don't want people just re-uploading straight rips of their songs onto platforms with lyrics and making profit off of it. I totally get that. But at the same time, like, if somebody is using music as a background for a Twitch stream or a commentary video on YouTube, the likelihood that they are, like, just using your song to profit off of your song is basically zero. They're not using your song to profit off of it. They're using it as background music and talking over it, which I would argue is transformative enough. Because, I mean, you're allowed to make commentary videos on, like, anime and television, albeit it's a pain in the ass because your clips will get taken down all the time, but you can do it. But the fact that, like, music is so strict and they're like, actually, you can't hum my song or use literally any of it because if you do, you're fucked. I'm taking your whole video and all the revenue off of it because I'm a, like, big media company and I like to throw my weight around and be a dick. And that's just my hot take on that. Sorry about it. like I said, I totally get wanting to protect your copyright, but at the same time, you don't need to be so excessive. At that point, it just seems like money hungry that you're trying to take revenue from like content creators who are just using it as background sound. Which is why whenever creators are like chill and actually let streamers use their music and stuff, because, you know, streamers very, very rarely don't talk over the music, then they're pretty cool, and I highly respect it a lot. Looking at you, Concerned Ape. I'm listening to your jams right now, and they're a vibe. Thank you very much. I love Stardew Valley so much, man. Okay, this needs to be... The earrings can't always be facing forward, as much as I would love for them to. They can't always be facing forward. So, we need to, like... Oh, I'm not on the right layer. I need to be on the right layer for this to work. Boop, 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 boop. Select that area here. And distort. Oh, I love the distort tool on Procreate. Yes, Procreate. Let me make those perspective angles. Absolute legend. Speaking of Procreate, this is like not really related to Procreate because they are legends, but this is related to Clip Studio Paint. Have y'all heard the drama in the art community that Clip Studio Paint is wanting to be the new Adobe? They're switching to a new monthly payment strategy if you want to have consistent updates to the program. Which people are rightfully pretty pissed about because one of the big draws about Clip Studio was that it was a one-time payment. It was, I literally had a friend who was using Photoshop for art, and I told her, hey, don't use Photoshop. Photoshop sucks because you have to constantly pay a shit ton of money all the time, and it drains out of your bank account. I was like, use Clip Studio Paint. You get assets from the community, and it's a great drawing app, and a lot of artists these days use it, and it's a one-time payment that you don't ever have to pay a second time. And then literally a month after she switched, they did this. I'm kind of irritated. Thankfully, I'm a Procreate artist, so it hasn't affected me too greatly, but man, oh man, would I be pissed if I was a Clip Studio user right now. And some people are like defending it, and I guess you can defend it if you'd like, but I personally think it was a pretty bad move, and I am not appreciative at all. Clip Studio, what are you doing? Quit trying to be the new Adobe. Nobody likes Adobe, and there's a reason for that. Just because it's the industry standard doesn't mean people adore Photoshop and want to use it 24/7, because it's not the case. Majority of artists I know do not use Adobe products for their art. Oh wait, that's not what I wanted to do. Merge down. Thank you. Okay. Kind of loving this dry brush look on Tanjiro, honestly. He's very well suited to this. I really only use 2 brushes in Procreate, and this is one of them. I use... What's the other one called? I just nicknamed them in my brain. I have cool ink looking one, which I think is called Dry Brush. Let's find out. Dry Ink. And then I use Studio Pen, because Studio Pen is like really clean and sharp. Trying to challenge WB for the shooting yourself in the foot record. It's a good point. Warner Bros. Really they really dropped it. They really dropped the ball here, man. I've never seen somebody speedrun bankruptcy so fast, except for maybe that time there's that custom-made PC company that literally committed company not living on stream because they had this whole business model where they made custom PCs for small channels, and then they were having a giveaway on their Twitch channel, and the owner of the company told the giveaway winner that they were too small of a channel and could not win the PC because they didn't have a certain number of followers, and it blew up and the whole company went down. That was the worst thing I've ever seen happen, but stuff's coming pretty close. They're really speedrunning this. They're trying to take that company on for the speed run to irrelevancy. They just announced that they're delaying Aquaman 2 and Shazam 2 because they only have enough money to release 2 movies the rest of this year. Yeah, it's almost like when you delete a shit ton of content that people get nervous and pull out their stocks and get the fuck out of the stock market with you. And it's just not great. Generally, it's not a good sign when companies start canceling a fuck ton of shows, which is why this was such a bad move, not only from like an artistic standpoint, because holy shit, they're burning down the Library of Alexandria out here with all the content they're removing. Some of the content was exclusive to their platform and can no longer be shown anywhere else. Not even the creators of the shows have access to them. But now they're also fucking themselves over market-wise because everybody's getting the fuck out of there. They're jumping ship faster than the goddamn Titanic. Because why would you want to stay on Warner Bros? They are just so bad and everybody hates them right now. Like, I can't think of a single media company right now that's very popular. My personal opinions are Warner Bros. Sucks ass. My opinions on other things, because I know y'all are just so desperate to hear my opinions on stuff. Netflix. I fucking hate Netflix too. I have Netflix. Well, more precisely, my parents have Netflix, and I am still... If I'm old enough, like if I'm young enough that I'm still on their insurance, I can still use their Netflix. So Netflix don't come for me. But I hate Netflix with a passion. They low-key kind of suck. And the reason for that, they will make fantastic shows, and then they'll immediately fucking cancel them. And then they'll make absolute dog shit shows, and those will get fucking 1 billion seasons, and nobody watches them. Like, I'm sorry, I'm such a hypocrite, because I'm always like, oh, you should never slander another creator's content. But I always slander Big Mouth, because I fucking hate Big Mouth. That show looks so bad. It is just such a complete acid to my aesthetic senses. I absolutely hate Big Mouth and the way that it looks. I've never seen the show, don't know anything about the content. All I know is it looks so bad, I would never, ever, ever watch it. And, they, renewed that for a new season, and they canceled a shit ton of other shows that were way fucking better and were, well beloved. And they're just like, no, we want Big Mouth. And I'm like, alright, fucking out of here then. I very rarely use Netflix anymore, other than, the occasional show that is not even a Netflix original, just because they're originals. All the ones that they had that I liked, they canceled. So, we aren't even going to talk about the dumpster fire that was Voltron Legendary Defender. Because the thing is Netflix shows have two moods. They either are, so good, and then they completely tank in, the last couple of seasons, or last season, or Netflix cancels them. They either, it's basically like that quote where it's like, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. That's basically what they do. They basically, show up, and they're like, oh, we're just gonna, drop this fantastic show and then cancel it, even though it was great and a bunch of people loved it. But then they're gonna, create the show, everybody loves it, and then the season's tank, and it does absolutely terrible in the last season. I think I've mentioned before, I literally just used this example, but Voltron Legendary Defender, if you've never heard about that dumpster fire, holy shit. Holy shit. Voltron Legendary Defender was such a fucking nightmare. As somebody who, used to watch it religiously, so much to the point that I ran a Tumblr fan account for Voltron Legendary Defender, that show ended in a mess. It was a disaster. I had to quit watching. I couldn't stomach it. They made this huge deal about, oh, we're having all of this LGBT representation, and this character in the show is gay, which is, that's fine. Cool. Whatever, man. And then, they're like, oh, but his love interest? We're gonna kill his love interest off in literally, the first 2 episodes of the new season, even though all of our promotional material went towards bragging about how we're having all this inclusion of LGBT characters, and then we're going to immediately kill them off because Netflix cannot let the bury your gays trope go. And sometimes they'll drop the first third of JoJo Part 6 all at once and then wait 9 months to drop the second part, completely killing the hype. Literally. Here's the thing. When it comes to television shows, with the streaming platform like Netflix has, you either drop all of it at one time so people can binge it and there can be hype around the binging, or you release it incrementally so that the hype can be drawn out over time. I think it's been mentioned by a couple other creators in the past, but like, basically the common sentiment is that Netflix should just go back to doing a weekly airing, kind of like how Hulu airs new anime episodes as they come out weekly, because it is just like way better for like viewership retention. But I don't know, because Netflix I don't know, I don't like Netflix at all. I'm still angry that they canceled one of my favorite shows because it was an artistic masterpiece, and the fact they canceled it after it won, I think it won an Emmy or something. It was either like, it was some big award. It won like some huge award, and then they were like 2 hours later they canceled it, which pissed me off so fucking bad, because basically they wanted all the glory of winning the award, but then they didn't want to put the effort into making another good show, so they canceled it immediately after. Netflix has done weekly releases for a few anime recently. I don't know why they can't do it the rest of the time. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I'm kind of like, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know much about what Netflix is up to anymore because I don't watch them anymore. I don't really care for them. Because, like I said, one of the only shows they had that I was hyped for, they canceled. So, I've not really watched a ton of Netflix. A majority of my, like, streaming consumption these days has come from Hulu, honestly. Which I honestly don't really like Hulu that much either. Kind of a hot take, I know. But I'm just frustrated because the version of Hulu that I have is the one that comes with my Spotify premium account. And I'm pissed off because I have to watch ads on shows that came out 20 years ago. And I think that's kind of bullshit. And I don't want to do it. But I have to. I have no choice. Because, as most people probably know at this point, I've been watching Fruits Basket. I watched the original 2001 Fruits Basket first, and I've been watching the 2019 version now. And, the 2001 one, like, the 2019 one has ads. Okay, whatever, fine. It only came out a couple of years ago, so it's whatever. The 2001 version still has ads. Yes, I've been watching Fruits Basket. The 2001 version still has ads on it. The show came out fucking 20 years ago. Hulu, you don't need to capitalize. Like, it pisses me off so bad. I'm like, dude, I can't even watch shows that came out 20 years ago without having advertisements shoved down my throat. And it also is just frustrating because advertising companies have my demographics so fucking wrong that it's laughable. I know I've mentioned this on stream before, but they're like, oh, 21-year-old female? You must like skincare products, makeup, and diaper ads. I'm like, fuck off. No, that's not me at all. I hate every time L'Oreal Paris gives me a goddamn ad on YouTube. It's another time I will never fucking buy their products because I'm so sick of seeing their advertisements. And L'Oreal is the one I remember the most because those are the ones I can't fucking skip. They give me 2 15-second ads in a row for some dumb, stupid cosmetic product that I can't even skip. And it makes me so unfathomably angry. I absolutely despise it. Quit giving me quit giving me cosmetic advertisements. Anyways, I digress. And Hulu is just as bad. They give their demographics, I don't know where the hell they get their demographic for what they advertise with, but I have no idea. It's never accurate to what I actually am interested in. Even if it was, I am not somebody who's easily suckered by advertising, so I don't know how much use it would give them anyhow. But, I don't know, man. Anyway, sorry about that brief rant about advertising. Anyhow, yes, I've been watching Fruits Basket, and it's very frustrating that I have to watch ads for the 2001 version. I think that's kind of stupid. Once a show has hit, like, a certain age, people should just be able to watch it. Because, the hype for it's gone. Like, I'm sorry, when people are hyping about Fruits Basket, they're probably hyping for, the 2019 version. They're probably not popping off about 2001 anymore. And the other thing is that, like, they're not selling merch of it much anymore. It's not, like, you see Fruits Basket merch occasionally at, like, Hot Topic. But it's not something that they're, like, widely marketing any longer. So, like, what's the point of putting ads on it, dude? At that point, just, like, fucking let it rest. Let people enjoy the content without having to have advertising shoved down their throat 24/7. I don't know. That's my hot take on the situation. It drives me crazy. Because it's not like I watch the ads anyway. I just go on my phone or do something else and completely don't pay attention to the advertisement until my show comes back on, and then I actually care what's happening. Like, it literally is just such a worthless thing to do. I can't think of a single time where I've ever seen an advertisement and been like, oh my gosh, I have to have that. Or I have to do this. Because why would I? Don't think people probably want me to bitch about advertising anymore. Why are hands so hard? Why is this so hard? Why is this happening? I drew like a really good hand the other day and was so proud of it, and now I'm back to this shit where I can't draw hands at all. Bleh. But yeah, basically I hate advertising. I almost majored in marketing at university and then was like, wait a minute, I fucking hate it when companies advertise to me. I can't go into marketing. I hate it. I actively despise companies that market to me. So why would I want to go into a career where I market to other people? You know what I mean? That looks better. I digress. I do love Fruits Basket, though. It's been nice to get back into watching it. I don't know why I took such a long hiatus from it. I don't know what kind of caused that. I kind of, like, alternated between shows a bit. I went and watched some of this show I like called Bones, which is it's like some really cheesy, awful drama show that I absolutely adore. And the last season of it aired ages ago, but I love it. I'm sorry, I just do. But what if I do? How's that look? Not terrible. I'm still trying to wrap my brain around these clothing folds, man. I hate clothing folds so much. Okay, so let's see here. I have fold here. There needs to be another fold here. Probably even a little further up, maybe. The other thing I did for the first time in a while today is I played Stardew Valley. I haven't done that in a little while. Just haven't been much in a Stardew mood. Though, I gotta tell you, man, I'm so frustrated. So the achievement I've been working on for forever with Stardew is I have been doing the Joja Company achievement, which is basically like, instead of being like the good Samaritan that helps the community, you literally just become like the corporate stooge and go in and help this company take over a small town and make a monopoly. And I have to do that part of it, unfortunately. It sucks ass, but I hate doing it, but I need the achievements, so I'm doing it. And I thought that I was finished with it today because I finished buying like the last community upgrade from the shop. Well, it turns out that after you buy all the community upgrades, you're given a reward. You're given like a soda machine item award that's exclusive to the route. But I thought that was going to be it. As far as like I thought that was going to be it as far as like you know, paying for shit went on that. But it turns out I was wrong. Apparently you have to do that, and then there's another 500,000 gold that you have to collect to do the rest. So after thinking I was finally finished, I have to go back in and collect 500,000 more dollars, and I'm kind of like, dude, I don't know if I can do it anymore, man. I don't know if I can do it. I can't stomach it. Oh. I'm so sick of doing these stupid tasks for this dumb company, man. I just want to go back to the community center tasks where I had to find like funny mushrooms sometimes. Do little feet for Tanjiro here. With his little sandals that he wears. Go Tanjiro. Yeah. I love Demon Slayer so much. I don't think I'll ever shut up about it. I love Demon Slayer. You can't tell by the fact that I literally bought a puzzle. Which, the puzzle was an interesting experience because folks who are in the Discord may have seen this, or I guess in the Custodians Discord may have seen this. But I bought a puzzle of it was like it's a Demon Slayer puzzle, and it has Tanjiro, Zenitsu, Inosuke, and Nezuko. And oh man, I bought this puzzle. It was expensive as hell because it was a Japanese imported puzzle. Like, this is not an American print. This was literally just a Japanese puzzle that I bought. And I've never owned a Japanese puzzle before. This is the first time I've ever purchased one. And it was an interesting experience because I didn't know this, but apparently some Japanese puzzles give you like puzzle glue so that when you're done with the puzzle, you can like glue it together and turn it into a poster, which I would personally never do. I understand the appeal, but for this particular puzzle, I would never do that because like I like putting puzzles back together, kind of like I like rewatching shows. But yeah, so there was like I opened this puzzle up and I like as expected the pieces are in a bag, whatever, blah blah blah. Well, I open the puzzle up and I lift out the bag that all the pieces are in, and underneath it is like this little silver pouch. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I picked it up and it squished, and I was not expecting it. I remember I was on the phone with my friend when I did it. I was so revolted that she had to ask if I was okay, because I did not expect to pick up this little silver packet and have it squish in my hand as if it was full of jelly. It was so off-putting. Because I hadn't, and like, of course, all the instructions are in Japanese because it's a Japanese puzzle. So it took me a minute to be like, what the actual fuck is in this goddamn silver packet that I got? Like, Barnes & Noble, are you like, what are you giving me here? And yeah, after some intuitive leaps, I realized it was probably glue for a puzzle, because they also included a little, like a little tool thing that you use to flatten the puzzle out. How the fuck am I supposed to draw this foot? How do feet work? Don't answer that, it's rhetorical, but how do they work, actually? How do I draw this without making it look like really awkward and awful? Is this good enough? This may be the best I can do. That doesn't look too terrible. We'll go with it for now. I've already been streaming for almost an hour, so we may not get to coloring tonight, because coloring this piece is also going to take quite a while, because fun thing about the dry ink brush, part of the reason I don't use it very often is because while I do really like the texture it has, it also does not auto color very well. Like, if I change the thresholds, it will sometimes do okay, but it does not auto color very easily. So using like a paint dropper like that, it's not going to go very well with this brush. Let's see here. What else do I have to do on him? I need to do his cloak that goes over his leg a little bit here. Because this comes down, comes around like that. Right? Something like that. Something like that. Tanjiro, why are you so goddamn hard to draw, my man? You're such a cool character. But why you gotta be like this? Why you gotta be so hard to draw? Like, I'm just out here trying to live my best life, and Tanjiro's making it hard. Like, I love Demon Slayer, but God, the author, giving him this, like, checkered, like, pattern cloak is a crime. Like, believe it or not, straight to jail. It's so difficult to draw, and it's gonna drive me crazy to color this thing. Alright, let's turn off the sketch layer and see what I think. You know, I actually don't hate it. I actually don't hate it. This is going pretty decent. it's not perfect, but I don't despise it, which is it's a new feeling for me. Do 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 do. Mm-hmm. Okay, it looks like the cloak kind of comes back behind as well. Sorry if I'm kind of quiet for a minute. I'm like comparing my art to the reference to see if I'm missing anything. So far it's looking pretty good though. Because like you can tell it's Tanjiro, but you can also tell it's my art. Because did I talk about this on stream? I'm basically an old woman. I can't ever remember what stories I've told people. But I had a conversation on the other day with Rhett of the Custodians fame, and basically he made a joke on Twitter about needing emotes for the Discord server for the Custodians, and when he did that, he got hit up by a bunch of like fucking bots on Twitter that were like, "Oh my gosh, you commission me for emotes. I'll pay me and I will make you emote," which would ordinarily be fine, except they were absolutely scammers, and I had to like go through the account and show him like, hey, this is why these are scams, because you see how this one right here, the art style of the different quote-unquote commissions that they've done is drastically different every single time. Usually, if an artist does something, their art style stays pretty consistent. Like, you can usually, if somebody, like, draws something, you can tell it's theirs. At least, not all the time, but most of the time. You can usually tell when something belongs to a specific artist, because most artists have very distinct styles. My style is pretty distinct. Like, you can... I don't know what it is. I think it's the eyes. The eyes and the mouths that I do on my characters have a very distinct look to them. That usually you can tell, hey, Hush made this. Because it has that kind of look to it, you know? But... yeah. I'm kind of just like... yeah, but I had to like go through it and be like, hey, so here's the deal. These are absolutely either traced or just straight up stolen. Because they look like these are supposedly done by the same person for the same reason, but they look completely different. And usually, that is not a great sign. And it would be pretty damn bad if you accidentally purchased art that was just a straight up rip off of somebody else's stuff, because then not only are you out money for a cheap knockoff of somebody else's stuff, it screws the other artist over, you know, which that's awful. I'm very much not into like art being reposted by people who are not the original like creator. I get that some creators are like fine with it if you have permission. I personally would never be, though. I would never want somebody uploading my content as theirs. And, like, I'm not saying I'm completely guiltless of this. When I was, like, 11, I used to re-upload people's stuff because that's what I thought was acceptable at the time. Obviously, it's not, and I'm not happy that I used to do it. But, like, and so I get it a little bit because most of the time it's kids. But, like, dude... uploading other people's stuff is just so freaking uncool. I can, like, if I was to upload a piece of art and it's like, and it got 0 likes, and somebody else uploaded it and it got like any like amount of likes over what I got, I would feel like shit. And I have had people like ask me before, hey, can I repost this to this account and basically like use your and give you credit? And I'm like, actually, I'm sorry, you can't. I would rather you didn't. Because here's the thing. Yeah, you're giving credit to the person who did the piece. But the likelihood that the people who are looking at the, like, actual image will go seek out the original creator over just like liking the image as they see it and moving on is so fucking slim. You basically get no exposure from doing that kind of stuff, because when people are scrolling through Instagram or whatever, they're gonna see a post, they're gonna like it, and they're gonna move on, and they're never gonna look back at it again. So like, by allowing people to repost content, you may think that you're like getting your art more exposure because, oh, this account's bigger than mine, so maybe it'll be good to get some fresh eyes on my pieces. Well, yeah, but at the same time, like, they're probably not going to seek you out. They're probably just going to like the image on the big account and then move on. Which is unfortunate, but that's just how social media seems to get people. It seems to be very much a mindless swipe through, click, like, swipe out. Not always, but for the most part. At least that's how most people I've seen function when it comes to social media. But I personally would never be cool with somebody just taking my stuff and reposting it. I would be pretty upset. Which, thankfully, one of the blessings of in disguise of being a very small artist and a very mediocre artist is that happens so rarely, because my art is not of high enough quality for someone to steal. Which sucks, because I wish my art was better, but at the same time, it's nice, because I don't have to worry about my shit getting stolen. Which, I do watermark my pieces. I've never had something stolen, but I always watermark it just in case, because that's like one of the quintessential tips that most artists will say is like, always watermark your stuff. Always just do it, because people will steal. And it sucks, but it's an inevitable fact of life, and you just have to do it. I don't want to... I'm hoping it will never get to the point where I have to, like, do crazy watermarks. Like, some artists have to watermark their stuff where, like, the image is covered by the watermark and you cannot see the image through the watermark, basically. Like, they literally will just do, like... For example, if I was to sign this piece like this... like that, and then they just turn the opacity down, but it still is watermarked over the top so you can see it. Artists do that, and I totally get why. I just hope that when it comes to my stuff, it never comes to that, because I'll be sad if it ever gets to that point. But so far, like I said, one of the benefits of being a small, mediocre artist. Nobody steals your shit. Alright, it's looking pretty dang good. Go down here and do this. Alright. I think that's the line art mostly done. I can't see anything that I want to change off the top of my head. The sword's a little thicker than I'd like it to be, but swords for me are just gonna be that way, because my swords always turn out really thick for some reason. Not for some reason, I just don't draw them often enough to, like, be in practice with it. But we're gonna see if we can get some flat colors on this guy. Give me a minute to just take a drink and sit back. Alright. Stretch my arms out. The other thing I need to add, actually, is his pants do have a kind of, like, almost like a pinstripe pattern to them, where they, like, come down, like, oop, not like that. Kind of like this, where it's, like, down like that, and then here. It has almost, like, a kind of that pattern to it. Which I'm kind of like, do I want to draw that in, or leave it? I don't like it with that on, so I'm just going to not do that. Okay. Might be time to use some flat colors. We can get rid of that reference picture now. So, well, actually, no. What am I thinking? I need color reference. Aha. Okay, reference this picture, please. We'll see how well the threshold does. Okay, so that's that. We'll see how well we do. Not great. Not terrible. Could be a hell of a lot worse. I can make that work. Just gotta drag and hold. Classic coloring techniques. It's one of the nice things about drawing digital, is that I can just drag and drop my colors and not have to manually color everything in. It saves me a lot of time when it comes to that kind of stuff. Other thing I need to do is switch brushes, because even when I do my line art with dry brush, what's it called? Dry ink. Even when I do my line art with dry ink, I always color with Studio Pen, just because dry ink gives a kind of splotchy look, and I want my flat colors to be fully colored, you know? Okay, I think that's the only skin Tanjiro shows. He's a pretty well-covered lad. Okay, so let's color drop his hair. Kind of got that nice maroonish red to it. Like that. Drag and drop. Whew, that is red. Man's got some red ass hair. But I think this is actually like the first. Ooh, whoa. And that line art's not closed all the way, so I'll have to hand color that. This is the first time I think I've drawn Demon Slayer fan art. I've drawn fan art. I don't do fan art super often. I probably should, because fan art is obviously the thing that usually gets artists the most attention. I just don't do it super often. I like doing my own original work. It's just because I think that's what I find fun personally. But I think the only other fan art I can think of off the top of my head is I did some Hell of a Boss fan art the other day on stream. And I did, what else have I done for an art-wise? I did some fan art of, what's that show called? Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. I did some fan art of, oh my gosh, I can't believe I can't think of his name. I'm such a bad fan. Oh my god, what is his name? Fuck my life. Not Simone. The other guy. My brain keeps wanting to say Saitama, but I know that's wrong because that's One Punch Man. Oh my god, what's his name? Be the you that believe in the me that believes in you. Oh my god. What the fuck is that guy's name? Sorry, I had to pause this and do a quick Google search. Characters, please. Kamina! Jesus, how did I forget Kamina? He's one of my absolute favorite characters. Why the fuck can I not remember Kamina? Why could I not remember he existed? Jesus H. Alright. Kamina is his name. I have drawn fan art of Kamina. Many moons ago, I did Kamina fan art. Because I love him. Sorry about it. He's just very cool, and I like him a lot, okay? It's ancient now, though. I think it was a year ago that I did that, because maybe, it might almost be, depending on the time frame, that might almost be 2 years ago. Because I did that art when I was living at my old apartment. So, yikes, man. I lost my reference picture. Tanjiro. Come on, where's my reference? There he is. Hello, Tanjiro. What does your hair look like? And why is it so complicated? It's probably supposed to look like fire or something, but... man, why is it gotta be so difficult to draw, guy? But, yes, I did fan art of Kamina. I did some fan art of Luna from Hell of a Boss, and I did some other Hell of a Boss fan art last year as well. But I think I did all of the characters when I did that last one. The one from last year, I mean. What other fan art have I done? Have I done any other fan art? It's been like I said, it's been a hot minute. I don't do a ton of fan art, honestly. It's just not usually what I focus on with my drawings. Fan art. What have I done for fan art? I think that might be it when it comes to like fan art of official content. Because like more often than not, I don't draw it. Probably should. I drew some. I guess I did draw some MHA fan art, but that was a long ass time ago. That was freshman year of college. I drew Bakugo, Deku, and Ochako, and I'm still so proud of those drawings. It's probably some of my favorite drawings I've ever produced. I'm sad that I can't ever replicate that because I don't draw often enough to replicate it again. Because freshman year, since I was in a design class, I drew every day, all the time. And now that I'm like in a major where I don't have that kind of free time, I don't do that anymore. Which is why I'm hoping that by doing art streams, I can feel like my art is not regressing. Because I do feel that way sometimes. Because it is possible. Your art can get worse if you just don't use it. If you don't practice. Your art can get worse. It has happened to me. You will lose skill. You have to work it like a muscle. Which, trust me, it'd be way easier if you didn't have to. If I didn't have to draw consistently to be good, it'd be fantastic. But I do. Because my big problem is that I just have such a struggle staying motivated, man. It's like, it used to be super rare that I'd find it. For a while, it was really rare that I'd find stuff I actually wanted to draw. Which is why I went through such a huge artistic gap on, like, my social media accounts. And now I'm starting to come back a little bit. Because I'm like, I actually feel like doing things again. Which is a good feeling. It's great, actually. Now that I think about it, it's fantastic. I like being able to do things and enjoy them. Give me that pixel of pink. Yeah. So his eyes start kind of like, they're darker at the top, and then they go kind of lighter. So we'll start with that kind of dark pink. And we'll scale it up a shade. Like that. Take a break from the hair for a little bit, because it's going to drive me crazy if I don't. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty sick. I love that. That looks good. Awesome. Okay. What else am I missing for you, Tanjiro? You have kind of hooded eyelids. Maybe I should add some lines for your hooded eyes. Like, maybe not like that. You need to be in the right brush style. Pretty good. Give him the hooded eyes that Tanjiro has. Because he do in fact have kind of hooded eyes. I think that looks okay. If I hate it, I'll change it later. Okay. Let's see here. I need to get back to drawing the hair. I took a little break because it's driving me crazy. His hair is very difficult for me to nail down. Okay, so it kind of like continues along the bottom here. In. Now where does that go from there? Kind of has like a little jut here where it comes out. It dips back in here. His hair is so hard. My god, Tanjiro. I thought the clothes were going to be the worst part, but this is starting to become a pretty damn good contender. This sucks. Hey, why do your hair suck so bad, my guy? Like, comb it or something. So I don't have to draw all this funky shapes and shit. I'm not trying to roast Tanjiro. Like I said, I love Tanjiro. But like, my guy, why is your hair built like this? It's built very differently. Oh, I just remembered I have to be up at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Cringe. I do not want to be up at 8. I want to go sleep in and never wake up that early like that ever again. It's gotten to the part of the stream where I ramble. Because it's late in the evening and I'm just trying to do my art. I'm not thinking. Just doing the art stuff. Just gonna kind of throw some lines in here and see what sticks because his hair is hard as shit. I think that looks good enough for now. I'll come back to it later, as usual, and fix anything I don't like. But for now, we're gonna leave it. I say as I fiddle with it more. That looks better, actually, if I just make these a little bit more sharp and edged. Looks cleaner. That's pretty decent. Okay. So, let's do some earrings. Mir Tanjiro, give me that color. Give me that color. I'm stealing his color for my own uses. I also need to do these little bits of hair behind his head that poke out. Because upon further inspection, he does have those. Mans is very close to rocking a mullet, and I respect it. Okay. Let's use a darker color. Because I think... What color do they use here? It's kind of like that maroonish color. Let's see how that looks. It's not quite dark enough for my needs. I'm going to make it a little darker for me. I do a little bit of color editing to see what I can see. Because sometimes, like, I understand that, like, they have a palette in the reference image, but sometimes the palette in the reference image isn't considered necessarily satisfying my needs for what I want my art to look like. So I'm gonna make it a little bit adjusted. Such as right now. Oopsies. The collar here is still black. Cool. No, don't do that. You color filled too much, my guy. Here we go. Nice. Pantaloons. That's too much. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to color fill the pants. I'm gonna have to do it special style. Use my other method of coloring to do the pants because they're not wanting to cooperate. Which is, I go in and I trace the outline with the color I want to use, and I just reference my color layer instead. Because I'll be damned if I'm gonna go back in and manually draw in every single, like manually fill in every single little spot. Because it's actually considerably harder to do on, like, in my personal opinion, I think it's way harder to make myself, like, go in and color every place manually when I'm doing stuff like digitally versus traditional. Because on traditional, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll color this in because I have to. I have no choice. When I'm on digital, I have a choice. So I tend to not do that. Which is part of my theory as to why my stuff on traditional I sometimes prefer. Just because I tend to put a little bit more time into it. Not necessarily more effort, but more time. Because I have to, like, not fuck it up. So I have to be way more careful. Whereas with digital, I hit the undo button a bajillion times and it fixes all my problems instantly. I love this song. Stardew slaps. Probably gonna go play some more Stardew later. It's quite good. Quite good. Reference. Thank you. Sick. Nice. Okay. His socks are the same color too. So, undo that stroke, reference this again, merge this down. Color drop. Why is this occurring? Why are you doing this? My man. Am I referencing the wrong layer? Oh, it's because there is no reference anymore. I thought it would explain it. Nice. Ah. See, if I did that traditional, I'd be crying right now. But it's not traditional, it's digital, so I can have fun. Oh, am I oh, we're going to say that I'm color filling on the wrong layer. Ah. Damn it. Okay. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. I'm going to go for about 15 more minutes, then call it an evening. We're probably not going to finish this piece on stream. It does take a little bit more effort for me to do pieces like this, because I have to stick more closely to a reference than I do normally with the character. But I'm quite happy with how it's going so far. So that's good. Boop. Ah. This is going to be easier just to color fill myself, like to color in myself, because this section here has got, I distorted it to make the shape more proportionate, and when you distort a shape like that in Procreate, the lines get fuzzy and they don't retain their color when you color drop. Little fun factoid for folks out at home. Okay. It's got kind of like a white silvery moment going with these buttons, so I'm just gonna steal that real quick. Color fill these bad boys. No. Decent. No. Okay. Today has been a very rambly stream for me, hasn't it? I have a lot of conversational energy today. Do not know why. Just feel like talking quite a lot. Very chatty. I'm probably just like, I'm partially like just really fucking hyped for this weekend. Because for folks who don't know, this weekend my friends from the Custodians, specifically Rhett, is coming to visit. And I'm fucking pumped. I'm so excited. Cannot wait to see him. It's been a very long time since I've seen him in person. I think a year. So I'm pretty hype. His little scabbard is slightly more gray than the rest of his outfit. So I shall do this. Cilantro. Okay, got the white belt. Fly as hell. I'd probably do his. Do I want to do his facial rendering? No, I want to wait to do his facial rendering until after I've done everything else. Honestly, I know I said I was going to end in 15 minutes, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and end here because I don't know that I have the stamina to. Oh, wait. Hold on. Mistake spotted. I must correct this. That, no. That, and I also forgot to do the cuffs of his shirt in this color. Okay. That's probably going to be where I leave it tonight, folks. I do not have the stamina to do this coat this evening, so I'm not going to do the coat tonight, because the coat is very difficult for me to do. I have to manually go in and color all those squares, and it's just a lot, and I have to pay attention to folds, and I just don't have the strength. I had a 7:45 class this morning. Y'all are going to have to cut me a little bit of slack. But, yeah. So, I'll go ahead and do my usual plugs. If you liked the stream, hi, I post on YouTube. I used to post every day. I'm going to try to get back to posting every day. I have some more videos that I'm going to be editing and uploading soon, so keep tuned for that. If you like my art, thank you. You can follow me either here to see me do drawing streams once a week, or you can follow me on Instagram where I post all of my finished pieces, or Twitter where I occasionally post my finished pieces, or on TikTok where I do like speed paints and speed drawings of stuff, as well as clips from my YouTube and Twitch channel. If you're interested in any of that, do exclamation point followed by the name of the social media network, like not network, but the social media that you like, such as, for example, if you do not follow my YouTube channel, if you want to do exclamation point YouTube in the chat, that will get you a link to my channel. And so on and so forth. If you're not a member of my Discord and you want to be, you should be. I mean, Discord, you get to do a lot of cool stuff, such as vote in polls occasionally on what games I play on my gaming nights, and stuff like that. And it's also where I alert folks if I'm going to be starting streaming. So if you're interested in that, do exclamation point Discord in the chat, and you will drop a link for you. Other than that, I mean, yeah, that's basically all I've got for you this evening. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I'm sorry that the stream was kind of like very back and forth on if or not I was going to do it this evening. I was feeling really tired for a while, and didn't want to, but then out of nowhere I got a second wind and was like, actually, I want to do this really bad. So thank you all for joining so kind of like impromptu and last minute. I had a lot of fun. And I can't wait to finish this piece another evening, possibly tomorrow, so long as I'm not too busy. But yeah, that's going to be where I end it here, folks. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your evening. And that's about it. Bye!